Right. It's another day. This is day 8 of the Smart Money Reset, and we are glad to be with you again. I hope you are not tired of our faces. We know you are not. We know you are not. The journey is still on. And I'm here again with my friend, business partner, Mr. Wisdom Ezekiel. You're welcome today again. Another week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy Sunday. Today is
Abi,
Sunday, and we have Dr. Sunday Olorunse. So today is
correct.
your day. Happy Sunday to you, and happy
Yeah.
Sunday to all our viewers, listeners all over the world.
Mhm.
We want to say a big thank you for joining us again today.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. I know we had a very interesting week. That's last week and ended it with a review session yesterday. We had a few questions and attended to it, but we had a bit more than our time could accommodate. And maybe we just start by attending to maybe a few more questions, then we hit the new week. Maybe our admin can just push to us. Um, okay, this one says, can you recommend any three books one can read to change our perspective about earning and money? Wow. Now I'm going to recommend, and Wise Man will also recommend. But interestingly, the books I will recommend will be um, all time relevant. Um, some of these books they are old, but I tell you, they are the foundation for wealth creation. Most of the people that have created sustainable wealth, they read these books, but they did not just read it, they started practicing. So the first one is The Richest Man in Babylon. You see, as old as that classic book is, it's a book that anyone that wants to grow wealth should read. It will help you sustain whatever wealth that you create. The next one is Think and Grow Rich. I have to just go over because these are foundation. You know, they say the foundation is what will determine the height of the building. That's a book that will help you instantly. I think that was authored by Napoleon Hill, if I'm not mistaken. So Think and Grow Rich. Then this third one, you see, I'm going to recommend it because the reason why most of us have not been able to change our perspective about earning and money is because of our past, the experiences we have had or the challenges we are in. We have refused to deal with the reality. So I'll recommend the third one, which is Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? You see, these three books, they are old books, but I tell you, they are books that you should read if you have not read. But if you want to reset and start your journey again, if you have read them before, pick them again, read them, and let it be the beginning of the journey for you. Wise man, do you have more to add?
Okay, I think I will only add one more because those ones that you have mentioned, they are classics. They are books that never go out of time. Every time you pick them, they are still very relevant. The Richest Man in Babylon has been somebody rewrote it in our present English so that
Mm,
Gen Zs can relate to it. So you
mm,
can also find the updated version. But the one that I would want to recommend, because many people money principle are universal, all right, but the application may differ from region to region, all right. So I want to recommend School of Money by Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. It's a classic. It's a book that you carry it and you by the time you are done reading, it's not even a book that you finish reading, it's a book that you keep consulting because it has a whole lot of things that are embedded inside that can help you inside. The School of Money by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, because he is a Nigerian, is an African who also have global influence and global
mm,
relevance. So putting that classic together can
mm.
give you a clear balance of good application in such a way that when you begin to apply it, it's both locally relevant and even globally acceptable. So School of Money
Yes.
by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, it's another one that I would recommend. So those four, that's if you lock yourself up for 3 months and read those books, by the time you come out, you'll be a totally new person, different person completely. All right, I think we have a second one here. It said, what are some of the strategies for building multiple streams and reducing financial risk? What are the strategies? Okay, so whether you like it or not, you must build multiple streams because one stream of income is never enough. All right. You must ensure that from time to time you are building multiple streams. So, one of the strategies you can use, because you are asking for strategy, it means that you are in a position where maybe you are doing a 9 to 5, all right, and you don't have the time to be able to do other streams of income. Then we want to begin to look at the things that you can do that don't not necessarily take so much of your time. You see, people now do content creation as a job, all right, that they don't even have any other thing they are doing is content creation. And let me tell you something, content creation does not have to be, it does not have to be serious, all right.
Yeah.
From the time you wake up, all you need is your camera, and it doesn't have to be professionally shot. All right,
Mm.
people have come to accept that now. From the time you wake up to the time you either you are driving or you enter bus, to the time you get to your office, to the things
Mhm.
you did in the office, all of them are content creation. No? So content creation can be one
Mm.
of the multiple streams that you have, that you're gonna get, that you're gonna begin to bring out. The second one would be that you can begin to document um, your life lessons, begin to document your life experience and become an author. All right, so
Mm.
you can become an author. As an author, it doesn't stop your 9 to 5 at all. You become an author, and people want to read things, all right, whether it's your life experience, especially your life experience. I believe that everybody should write at least one book in their lifetime. At least let's know what your life experience was like. What did you do? How did you experience life and all of that? So you can actually become an author. And I usually say that most people that do 9 to 5, all right, if you do a 9 to 5, what do you do from 5 to 10 or 11? All right, as the case may be. So there must be something else that you do. All right, so you can be a digital marketer, somebody who is always online marketing something. That's one of the major ones that I can recommend right about now. Look for something to sell. Look for something to sell online, because today people are born, they grew up, and they live online. And sometimes when people die, they will even die online. But that's on a lighter mode. But that's to show you that
Mm.
online is the real deal. All right. So
Yeah.
begin to look at how you can begin to sell one or two things online. I was still talking to one of my mentee yesterday. She is trying to get into real estate sales, and she was saying, okay, that she has not been able to sell here and there. I said, you are selling to the wrong people. Start with your friends, your family, your colleagues, the people around you. If what you are selling, you cannot even find people around you to buy it, how are
Mm.
you able? These are people who can save to an extent, they can trust you. And when you're selling real estate, it's all about trust. You are
Mm.
selling trust, but you have not been able to find people around you to buy. You probably will not be able to find people outside of you to buy. So it's better to start. Charity begins at home. So,
Mm.
and we have a system that can help you earn and have multiple streams of income, from real estate to agriculture to hospitality to banking and all of that. You can get on board, scan the barcode on the screen, or click the link that is on this post, and you can get into our ecosystem, and you have a
Right.
variety of multiple streams that you can begin to plug into almost immediately. Over to you, doctor.
Yeah, I think that has been well answered. I don't know if we have any other question. Okay, this is Nigeria has hit us hard. Many at the time, from COVID to subsidy removal, and even now with Bitcoin going down. What are the first steps you can advise you guys to come back up? Okay, this is
The person is
addressing.
saying, are you a prophet? Can you prophesy that Bitcoin should come up?
So, this is for people that might be going through a tough time, especially for those that live in Nigeria today. But I want to start by helping you understand that whatever crisis you are seeing in Nigeria today is not limited to Nigeria alone, it's global. Since COVID, the world has not recovered fully. And if you have been following trends about world power and the tussle that has been going on, you will see that everybody is fighting for relevance. So we have a new president in the United States that have decided to say he wants to make America first, right? Ensuring that the interest of America is protected. America should stop being the Father Christmas for every other nation. As a result, he started cutting ties with some of the economies they've done business with, introduced a number of tariffs, and today doing business with the United States of America is no longer the same again. Europe was affected, Canada, the neighbor of America, heavily affected. Now, if you
Canada,
look at
the side chick of America.
yeah, the side chick. Now, if you look at the war going on in Russia and Ukraine, is lasted for over 3 years now. These are two countries that play pivotal role somehow in the world. Ukraine, in terms of agriculture, they are big. Russia, in terms of energy, they supply energy to different part of the world. China is also doing everything possible to stay relevant as a world power economically. United States is fighting that. You see, all of this put together, it's affecting the world economy. So Nigeria is not experiencing this in isolation. That being said, even in the midst of this economic holocaust, so to say, people are still thriving. Millionaires are still being made. And that's part of the reason why we organized this 28 days smart money reset, to also help you see that opportunities are endless. The fact that you lost money in Bitcoin or any other thing that you have done is just a bend, it's not the end. So today I'm helping you see that all you need to do is put yourself together again and ask what is the next available opportunity. Now, sitting right here in front of you, I can tell you that I can see opportunities in many sectors in Nigeria. Let's take the agric sector, for example. Whether you like it or not, people will continue to eat because this body requires food to survive. And there are many uh, food items that comes from the farm that we have shortfall of them in many parts of the world. So a smart person will want to look at something like food that people consume and they will need to replenish again. They will need to refuel again and say, how can I position myself across the value chain of food production and make money? You don't have to be the farmer. For example, we've been talking about Farmway Africa, the opportunity through palm origin and cassava island. You can be an investor, participate, and make money. But aside from investment, the food that we produce in the farms, some people don't farm, but they help in logistics. How will this food get from the farm to the people that need them? Be it manufacturing companies or the markets. There are markets that wait for this supply to come, or even the end user that we consume the food. You can position yourself to intercept the money that takes place there. Now let's go to processing. Most of the food we make from the farm requires processing. You can plant one um, crop, and it can be processed in so many ways. You have plantain. Some people use it as plantain chips. Some people use it as geese dodo. Some people will just fry the plantain. Some will use it as bole. Some will use it as boiled plantain. Now, just one item, but being done in multiple ways. Do you want to process? The cassava we are talking about from the farm today can be processed into different things, can be processed into starch, can be processed into cassava flakes, gari, can be processed into a number of things. So that's just agriculture I've just dealt with. All you need to ask yourself is, in this value chain, where do I want to stand to intercept the flow of money? So if we move away from the agri sector, let's come to the finance sector. Today, as bad as you might think people are complaining about Nigeria, the finance sector is doing extremely well. In the last 2 years, some of our big banks in Nigeria, they've been declaring profit in trillions of naira. That is no joke. So you want to ask yourself, what role can I play in this value chain? For us, for example, we decided to own a bank so that we can be a major player. That's why we got a license from the Central Bank of Nigeria to run a bank. Now, you can choose to partner with banks like us. If you're an investor, we opened opportunity for people to co-own our bank, and that will go out live soonest. You can come and say, how can I be a part of the ownership of this bank from the private placement level, not when the bank has become a multi-billion dollar bank. But right now, so that by the time they are talking about dividend, I can be earning significantly. Imagine when Money Point raised, I think, was it their Series B or Series C? One of the employees that owned some shares in the bank sold part of his shares and got over 1 billion naira. An employee. So imagine what investors that believed in them when they were like our bank now, what they will earn when they raise that series at that particular point in time. So if you are not that, you can ask, okay, within the banking ecosystem, what are the opportunities available? You can say you want to be that person that manages chains of POS, all over different parts of the country. You are not just limiting yourself to being in one POS store. You are saying, I want to be a super agent to this bank. And I want to position myself so that I'm willing to go to Kanu, I'm willing to go to Castina, I'm willing to go to Ilorin. Those places people will not naturally gravitate towards, and say, I want to build a large team of agents. And the beauty about doing that is no matter how small what you earn from each of them, you are wealthier than all of them at the end of the day. That is an example of how you can position yourself in the finance sector. If you allow me continue, I'll go from one sector to another, talk about the macro level and break it to the micro level. What I'm trying to let you know is that there is opportunity. And if you are investing in stocks, Bitcoin, and the likes, you should understand that those investments comes with their own risk. The higher the risk, the higher the return. And I always advise people, let such investment be a long-term strategy. For example, I've been investing in the capital market since when I was in 200 level in the university. And you should be talking about not less than 20 years ago. That was when I started investing in the capital market. And I can assure you that the very first shares that I bought as a student in the university, up till now, I've not sold it. Though that one has some emotional attachment, like this was my first investment in the capital market, and I decided not to sell. Up till now, I still get dividend. That bank has metamorphosed. It was Echo Bank then. From Echo, I think it became Ocean. Maybe from Oceanic, it became Echo. It's now Access Bank, whichever. But the shares kept changing from one bank to another. But it's still alive, and I'm still getting dividends from it till today. Now, how much did I invest there? 11,000 naira. I cannot forget. I was a student doing a lot of gig. And from all of those gig, I did a major one and I got 11,000 plus. And I told myself, I'm not going to spend this money. It was like one of the biggest money I made doing gigs as a student. And I pushed the entire money into buying shares. Today, the value of that shares is way more than that. The dividends I've earned over the years has been way more than the 11,000 that I invested maybe about 20 years ago, or up to 20 years ago now. So you see how that in different sector there's a role. So if you are there's a way you can step in. If you're investing in things like that, the intangible asset, make it a long-term strategy. You might win short-term in some cases, but have at the back of your mind that Bitcoin will crash, it will go up again. Stocks will crash, it will go up again. You're talking about Bitcoin crashing, but look at gold. It crashed at some point, but today gold is performing excellently well. So you must understand how to take advantage of each of these investment items on your table. Know which one is long term, which one is medium term, and which one is short term. Thank you, Wiseman. I wouldn't know if you have a question or if you want to add to that.
I know you have done justice to it, so that we can go into the point for today. I think that's about all the questions we have. I think we have three
Awesome,
of them
awesome, awesome.
that we have not answered. All right, today we are discussing what are smart money goals in practical terms. What are smart money goals? So, doctor, um, one of the reasons why we do this kind of broadcast is to bring practicality into some of the things that are, in quotes, ambiguous in the lives of people. When people hear smart money goals, sometimes it can be like, what do you mean by when you're asking me to have a smart money goal? And there have been a number of people who don't even understand it, that, okay, you are setting a smart money goal. I know we dealt with something similar to it at the first, webinar, but I want us to give in practical terms. All right, someone needs to set smart money goal. What are the things they need to consider in setting smart money goal? All right, maybe one of the ones who said you have to have a budget. All right, it's part of your smart money goal. All right, so we want to be able to break it down and to say these are all the processes of the things you need to do for you to have what we call a smart money goal. So somebody is there asking and say, look, I don't even know how to go about all this money goal thing that you people are talking about. For somebody even say, it's even saying that I don't even have money. Where do I want to start from? All right. So how do you practically, come up with smart money goals, especially in practical terms?
Thank you very much. So I'm going to respond to this. I'll break it into 4 sections for you. So it will be easy for you to take home and go and work with it, because we want to discuss practical now. And I will also discuss it from personal experience, how I was able to develop smart money goals that I have worked with for close to 20 years now. Now, it starts with you evaluating your income. You must come to a reality. So the first section is your reality. What is your present reality? So you want to look at how much do you even earn? Because that's the starting point. If you don't have clarity as to how much you earn, it will be difficult for you to plan. Wealth only grows where there is clarity. Wealth grows where clarity lives. So, how much is your income? Now, if your income will not be able to match these goals that you are trying to put down, your first responsibility will be, how do I increase my income? But let's agree that at the reality check level, you must identify what your income is. But I want to challenge you that even if your income is low, the question to ask yourself is, how can I X my income by 10, by 20, by 50, by 100, depending on the goals that you intend to plan? So the first reality check is, what is my income? Then the next thing you want to ask, what are my fixed expenses? Because everyone has expenses that are fixed. Maybe you pay rent, you pay your utilities. There are basic other things that you do. Our fixed expenses differ. But for everyone, there are expenses that are fixed. These are expenses that make you a responsible person. We are not talking of luxuries now. We are talking of basic expenses. You are a family man, for example, feeding your family is a priority. So that's an expense that is fixed. Paying rent is priority. It's a fixed expense. Paying your utility bill is priority. It's a fixed expense. Still under your reality check, the next thing to now itemize are your variable expenses. You need to know what your variable expenses are. And this is where some of us put discipline into our plan, because some things that you call a need, they are not necessarily a need, they are wants. Every time your income is not enough, you must always look for an alternative. So long there is an alternative, it's not a need yet, it's a want. For example, if your kids like a particular kind of food, let me use the example of noodles, right? And according to the income you earn, you cannot afford to buy noodles or a particular brand of noodles. You must teach them to eat the other brand that is not as expensive as the brand that you feel they love to eat. Now, it's just a matter of time they will adjust. If, for example, you have a little baby and they will require diapers, and normally you want to buy expensive diapers because when you go out to parties, you want people to see the kind of diaper your baby is using, so they will feel that you are earning or you are okay financially. Your baby does not have to use that if you cannot afford it. There is an alternative. There are other kinds of diaper that are cheaper that you can buy. It is just for that season. So the first thing is for you to do that reality check. What do I earn monthly? What do I earn weekly? What do I earn daily? What are my fixed expenses? And what are my variable expenses? Then we move to the next part where you want to start picking your top goals as it has to do with planning smartly. And I'll just give you three top goals that I had that helped me. The first one is to ensure that I plan for emergency. So my number one goal was emergency fund. No matter how small what you earn, you must make provision for emergency funds. Life happens, things happen, and you don't want to go begging. Anytime you have a little challenge, you are asking for urgent 2K. It's always because we don't have a plan. If you have plan for emergencies, it will not be all emergencies that you start calling people to come and support you. So, number one, I add emergency fund. The next one is asset, wealth asset. I set goals for the assets I will want to acquire. This asset can be tangible, they can be intangible. It depends on your income level per time. For some of us, you have enough money to buy landed properties, to buy houses, to buy cars and put it out for Uber, a number of things. For some of us, what you have can only go into small investment, buy penny stocks. What is important is that you have plans for your wealth or assets. The third one under that category of my goals is debt reduction. See, at one point or the other, you will play with debt. Maybe you borrowed to leverage. We have taught us how that borrowing should not be a bondage, it should be a leverage. So if you borrow to do something, you must not remain on the path of borrowing. there should be a clear plan of how to offset your borrowing. For example, if you have 3 loans that you are paying, the first question to ask yourself is which loan has the highest interest? The one with the highest interest have more impact on you than the one with the lower interest. So it is smart for you to focus on paying off the loan with the highest interest. Take it off your list. There are cases where you even borrow money with lower interest to pay off a loan with higher interest. You consolidate it and you work hard to pay the one with lower interest. So if a loan is killing you because the interest on it is up to 60% per annum, you have many of them, the loan sharks, you pay minimum 5%, 10% every month. If it's killing you and you have a place to borrow, maybe your office, just like you have been taught, where you don't have to pay interest at all or minimal interest. Borrow from the offset that so that you can manage the one that is not impacting too much on your finances. The third session I will talk about is where you put systems in place. Now you have done reality check, you have set 3 major goals that will help your finances and your financial future. Now you want to come to the level of putting systems, and the number one thing you do under that is to set rules, spending rules. Most of us don't have spending rules. That is the reason why we cannot account for the money that comes into our hands. For example, I normally tell my wife, every time she wonders, how do you deal with so much pressures? She's aware that so many people call me from here and there for money matters. And she's very happy to see me do it because she's a giver herself. But she always say like, I cannot cope with your kind of giving. That it is crazy. So she asked me, how do you cope with this? And I tell her simple, I've set money rules. There's a percentage of my income that goes into charity. Once that has been exhausted, there's nothing I can do again. You have to queue up for the next income. That is one. Secondly, part of my rules is there are people that I will help to some point. I will say, I have tried. I am not God. I'm not El Shaddai. I don't want to die. So I'll tell myself that this one, even if you feel I am not a good person again, because you asked me the 7th time and I did not respond, I am okay to be a bad person to you because I feel I have contributed enough to helping you stand on your feet. So there are hundreds of people, by the grace of God, that have supported to start businesses. As far as I'm concerned, I've set you up. It is in your hand. Go and work hard on how to multiply business. There are hundreds of people, by the grace of God, I'm paying school fees for, and some of them I've seen them through school. If they feel I am no longer good because I can't give them more money, I'm okay not to be a good person. So those are spending rules that you said. The next one is for you to automate savings. Very important. Automation will beat motivation any day. Automation beats motivation. No matter the motivation you have to save, if you don't automate your savings, it will be a struggle. And that is the foundation for growing well. So that takes me to our Genius by PettySave again. If you have been listening and you have not onboarded, go and download Genius by PettySave right away. If you are a business person, download Genius Business and automate the income that comes into your business account on daily basis. The final one, the fourth part of it, is accountability. You must have accountability partner. There must be somebody that you have held by the hand that say, in this journey we are going together. Wiseman and myself, we took ourselves as accountability partner when we started this journey. There were so many things we told ourselves we wanted to achieve, and we kept challenging ourselves on how to achieve those things. We have set so many goals together. We have achieved so many goals together. We have rewarded ourselves with so many things, but we have also punished ourselves when we did not achieve those goals. So there should be reward and there should be consequences. and there should be an accountability partner. Don't set the goal in isolation. Let somebody know that this is what I want to achieve, and I want you to check on me to know whether I'm doing it right or not. So these are practical steps. Some of the things we did, and I'm sharing with you today, I can guarantee you that these principles don't respect location, they don't respect color, they don't respect race. If you do it right, you get the result. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. I think we can even wrap up with that. Okay. I think just to add a few to what you have said,
Mm,
whenever you want to go embark on a journey, you have to know exactly where you are going.
mm,
So it's a matter of, first of all, take yourself. Sometimes I will say I want to recommend retreats, but sometimes people
mm,
cannot afford to retreat outside their home. So, but you can carve out a time and sit down and get a pen and a paper and ask yourself some very honest questions and be very critical about it. So, number one question you want to ask yourself is, what is financial freedom to me? The
mm,
the question what, once it's answered, it answers the
mm,
question of purpose. What is financial freedom to me? Because some people, when you ask them, what do you see in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, I'm going to be very rich.
mm,
That's not a statement of fact. That's motivation.
mhm,
That's wishes. All right. I'm going to be very rich is not quantifiable.
mm,
We cannot put a number to I'm going to be very rich. So you need to ask yourself, what is my financial destination? All
mhm,
right. So where am I going to financially? Maybe you want to do a 10-year plan. Maybe you want to do a 20-year plan. You put it there. So in 20 years, what should I be worth? How
mm,
much would I need that if I don't work again the rest of my life, I will not have to beg, borrow from anyone? How much would that be? Maybe you can say it is $1 billion. I'm just giving
mhm,
and it doesn't have to be, just be specific, just be realistic with yourself so that you are not putting down unrealistic goals. All
yeah.
right. So you want to write down exactly what that will be. So let's say for instance somebody said it's $1 million. Okay. Now if I have $1 million that I will never beg, I will never borrow in
Mm,
my life, especially if you are living in Africa. If you are living outside Africa, $1 million may not be adequate because you need to buy a house. All right. So, but $1 million may be the goal. So you need
mm,
to determine exactly what is the goal. Write it in clear terms. All right. When we did our, there was one time we did 10 years, 20 years, and even 30 years working plan,
mm,
financial plan. So in that 30 years, we know exactly how much we are supposed to be earning by year 10, by
mhm,
year 20, by year 30. If you don't even know how to do that 30 years, just do like 5 years or
mhm,
10 years, have it there that this is what it is. So when you have known the destination, you now want to ask yourself, how do I get there? Now, I have $1 million as my destination in the next 5 to 10 years. How do I make $1 million? Now, you look at yourself, what are you doing presently now? So, maybe you are working somewhere, they are paying you a salary of maybe 150,000 naira,
mm,
200,000 naira, or $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. You want to ask yourself, if I keep earning this amount, all
mm,
right, when will I be able to accumulate up to $1 million? You calculate it, it will tell you the number of years that you will need to work
mm,
and how much you need to save to be able to accumulate $1 million. All right. Haven't looked at it, you will know that it's not adequate. All right. If you are earning $1,000, to build $1 million will take you a whole lot of time. All
mm,
right. So that will now show you that you need to add some other things to your income. You now begin to look at investment, first of all. You begin to look at other sources of income. What are the other sources of income? And all these things, you are going to write them down,
mm,
because the first contact that your dream has with reality is in the pen that has written it down.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have written it down, that dream that was abstract becomes practical, becomes in, you can now see it, all right? So you need to write it down. Okay, I am going to add so and so. I'm going to add so and so. One of the ways that I do my own plan is every year, if I want to estimate my income, I draw all the companies that we own, all of them. And I say, this company last year gave me 100 million. This year, you should give me 300 million. All
Mm-hmm.
right. This company last year gave me 50 million. This year, you should give me so and so, based on what we have drawn. By the
Mm-hmm.
time I have finished, I'm able to aggregate everything and I can tell you, this year I'm going to earn 1 billion. Why? Because I have seen how much all the companies are going to be giving me. So the same thing you are going to do, you are going to take out time and draw out exactly how much are you going to be expecting from all those things that you have written out. That's when you now begin to know that your source of income is not enough. You need to add more source of income. Then you now go to the next level, because you see, this next level that we're talking about is part of your financial goals. It is the next level of knowing what price will you be required to pay for you to get to this destination you are looking at. You'll be required to pay a price. All right. That price you'll be required to pay is what you now begin to look at how you can qualify to pay it. Some of the price that you'll be required to pay will be to become more financially literate. You now need to begin to invest into books, buy books that you can read that can get you financially active. Some of the price you need to pay may need to begin to attend financial seminars, listen to financial podcasts, get to understand finances. Because wealth is created, but if you don't know how to create it, you will never be able to create it. So knowledge plays a very major role in this particular aspect. So you want to look at, am I ready to pay the price? If you are ready to pay the price, you will get there, no matter what the goal is. If you are ready to, even if you set 1 billion, as long as you are resolute that you are ready to pay the price and to sacrifice, you will get there. Then another one you need to look at is the vehicles. What are the vehicles you will need if you are going somewhere? If you need, so there are several vehicles. So some people may want to walk to where they are going, and you know that you are walking. Number one, you walk for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, can get tired while you are walking. So you want to look at a vehicle that you want to use. Some people can say, okay, I want to use a bicycle. All right, if it's a bicycle, you are still exerting strength. There's no leverage in, there's a little leverage in bicycle, but not much. All right, so you need to still exert strength. So, what are the vehicles of wealth creation that you need to activate that can take you there on time? All right, because where you are going, what determines if you are going to get there on time will be based on the vehicle that you use. All right, salary is like trekking. All right, it's like trekking, or maybe riding a bicycle. It won't get you to your destination on time. You want to begin to look at, am I going to be using a vehicle, or I'm going to be using a flight? All right. Uh, for me, I prefer to use flight, because when you fly, you buy time. All right. So things like real estate is taking a flight, because you are going to invest in something that easily appreciates. All right, starting a business can also be like taking a flight, because you can easily make some good income starting a business. So you need to design all the vehicles of wealth creation that you want to use and begin to invest into those vehicles, because if all that you do, all right, is just to work and salary, it might not be adequate. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to begin to look at some of the income streams that you want to begin to invest into. Real estate is a major one. Intellectual property is another one. Everybody has something that is unique to them that they can offer the world. Everybody have it. Maybe it's a poem that you have. Maybe it's a music that there is a song that you write. Maybe it's in fact, these days of AI, you don't even need to go to studio. enter the internet. AI will help you produce the song. You
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe it's a book that you need to write. Maybe it's something you need to invent. All right. So there are all of that. So intellectual property. Then you now begin to go to shares. You begin to go to gold. Begin to go to even cryptos. For those of you who believe in crypto, all right. I just feel that crypto is volatile, and but there are people who have done it well. All I'm saying that for anything you want to do, ensure that you have some form of knowledge, all right, adequate knowledge to be able to venture into them, so that you are not looking at them as crypto is going up, you are happy. As it's coming down, you are sad. That will not be your portion. So it is good. Number one, what exactly do you want to achieve? Number two, how do you want to achieve them? So if you say you want to achieve, how do you want to achieve them? Number three, what are you willing to do to ensure that what you have put down, you will be able to achieve them? What are the vehicles that you are willing to invest in to ensure that you get to that preferred financial destination? So that's why for us, the ultimate is real estate, where that we are always bringing to you. Buy real estate. You can never go wrong buying real estate. I
Mm-hmm.
asked one of our mentor, I said, did real estate make you rich? He said, no other thing. Real estate is the only real business. It made me rich. It made me wealthy. Mark what I'm saying and go and check. 95% of all the top richest people in the world at the base of their portfolio is real estate. Go and check across board. At the base of their portfolio is real estate. You can never go wrong doing real estate. So that's why we bring all the opportunities, whether it's agricultural real estate, whether it's hospitality real estate, whether it is even banking real estate, because the bank itself is also, infused into real estate and all of that. I can't remember whether I think it was McDonald's that said, we are not just selling burger,
Yeah.
we are doing real estate.
Yeah.
We're not just in the business of burger, we're in the business of real estate. So today, take advantage of all the offer we have. I think there was one we did where we offered 50% discount. The land that we have in
Coca. A4.
E4, Kuka E4.
Yeah.
We offer 50%. You can buy for 1.5 million naira for a
Yeah.
500 square meter land. Then you can also buy 300 square meter for 900,000, and you have 6 months to pay. All right. This is one. So you are buying a land that is already 3 million at 1.5. You have already made 1.5 as to speak. It means that once we resume after these 28 days, once we resume,
Mhm.
you can decide to sell it and you have made money. All
Yeah.
right, you can even decide to sell it below the market price, make your money and move. That's how we roll in this thing. So take advantage of it. And also for the Palm Origin and Cassava Island, they are very critical investment that you need to begin to look at, because they are vehicles.
Mm.
Once you are committed to investing in vehicles, you will get to your destination on time.
Yeah.
It is practical. Just be committed to investing in vehicles. Your destination is guaranteed.
Wow. Thank you so much for another master class. So, still discussing smart money goals. I think another very important aspect is the way we see money in our hand. Most of the times, people do not see money as um, a tool that they can use to achieve financial freedom. They see money as what comes to them just for spending. A smart money goal we always give money a job. Every dollar, every naira that comes into your hand, you give that dollar, you give that naira a job, meaning you send them on errand to work for you and generate money and bring return back to you. Why do employers hire people to work with them? It's so that they can solve more problems. The more problems they solve, the more reward they get. So if money finds its way into your hands, it will keep misbehaving until you start giving money clear instructions. So money behaves better when giving instructions. But when we have monies in our hand and we don't give money clear instruction on what to do, where to go, how to generate income for us, the money just keeps misbehaving. So, for those of us listening today, part of what we want you to start doing is to see every money that comes into your hand as something that should go on errand to generate more money for you. In fact, when you are spending, you must crave to know how best to spend your money that you can make money while spending money. I gave an example the other day of the platform we built, the marketplace that we have in our banking app, Genius. The marketplace is such that when you go there to shop, we expect you to shop at a cheaper price than you will get out there. But apart from that, when you shop there, you can also get cash back. Now, this cash back, it's money in your bank account that you can use for something else again. Now, you should always look for opportunities like that to multiply the money even while you are spending it. Because if you don't assign a role to your money will keep vanishing without you knowing. So everyone must find a way to assign roles. The way you assign roles to employees in an organization, you assign roles to your money. So you say this percentage is going towards this, and this is what I'm expecting from it. Another percentage will go towards this, and this is what I'm expecting. All of a sudden, you will become that person whose spending is all about attracting value. See, even when you support people, you see it as an investment. I'm not saying that you when you give people money or you give them things, you should always expect them to give you back. But whether you like it or not, it is a seed that you have sown into their lives. And for good people, they will find a way to pay back, and in most cases they will pay back in multiple fold. So when you see that young child in your neighborhood that has not gone to school since this January, and the reason why he has not gone to school is because he has not paid school fees, and you can afford to support him paying up the school fees, see that money as a seed, as a money you have assigned a role out of the percentage that you have set aside for charity. To you, it looks like the money has gone, but in the real world of money, in the game of money, that money has gone as a seed ahead of you. Many of us will live our lives today and we don't know the kind of favor, protection, security that we enjoy just because the invisible force that comes with you helping people is backing you up. That 500 naira, that 200 naira, that $10, that $50 that you are using to support people also has a role to play. But you must do it with the right mindset, knowing that this money that has come into my hand, I'm sending it on errand. And when you do, you should also learn to track it, because it is one thing to spend, it's another thing for you to track. What you don't track, you can't trust. The money you don't track, you can't trust the yield that will come back to you. So it is important that as you do all of this, you also track it. You take record of it. At the end of the year, you should be able to sit down and say, in savings, this was how much I was able to save. Investment, this was how much I did. Charity, this was how much I did. Um, when it comes to capacity building, investing in myself, I know we're going to do that one of these days. We're going to be talking about investing in yourself. This was how much I was able to spend. Can you imagine a business that is running and does not keep track of its expenses? That business will not have a future. Why do we celebrate multinationals? How are companies able to become quoted companies on the exchange? It is simply because they keep record. Now you must build your life into a system like that organization that has functional units, and every functional unit reports to you. You are the CEO of your life, and you keep records of all of these things, because if you don't keep the record, you can't improve on what you have done. So by the time 2026 is ending, I will expect that every one of us have clear record of every naira, every dollar that we spend. You know where it has gone to. You can learn your lessons from how you spent the money, so that 2027 you can become a better version of yourself financially. I know we are beginning to wrap up right now. Wise man is 55 minutes already. I just looked at the time and said, okay, it's good to start having a final word from you.
Okay, I think what is worth doing is worth doing well. If you take your financial future very seriously, then you will need to give it the time that is required. Commitment is so important. What you are not committed to cannot improve. So I will say that for everything we are teaching here, we're teaching things that we have practically taken advantage of, and we are still doing. All right. It would be nice that you start taking steps, so that by the end of this series, you'll be able to say, "This was what I achieved with all
Mm,
the things that I learned from this place." So when we talk about smart money goals, go and set it. When we talk about acquiring assets, go and acquire assets. When we talk about automating your savings, go and do it. Do it, and so that you have something to show, because when you go to class and they teach you all the principles, all right, and you never apply anyone, sometimes
mm,
knowledge not applied can be a heavy load on your head, on your
mhm,
neck, that you just, if I it's even worse, because you know that you know, but you did not do what you know. It can be very
mm,
devastating. So apply the things that we have been saying, and take the step one after the other. For every big vision, there's a small version. So if you cannot do the big one, start with the
mm,
very small one. Even if it's just to go and download Genius and start saving 100 naira, something like that,
mhm,
or 1,000,
mhm.
whatever it is. Just start doing something. Don't just hear and not do something. Hear and do something, and that's how you become a very progressive and successful person.
Wow, thank you very much. So as we close,
Yeah.
I'll just advise you, finally, ensure that you have a why for what you're doing. If you don't have a why, you can't keep your money goals alive. It's just like discipline without direction. It's going to be effort in futility. Have a why. Why do you want to be rich? Why do you want to be wealthy? If your why is strong enough, your passion will be alive. The goals will be alive. One of the reasons why we wanted to become wealthy was because we wanted to empower people. We told ourselves we wanted to raise 1 million millionaires. So the goal was not just to become a millionaire, but to raise millionaires. The goal was not just to buy cars for ourselves. We wanted to gift people cars. We wanted more people to be empowered. When we started our business, the mission was around enterprise development and people empowerment. So we wanted to see more businesses come out of our business. And the more businesses that came out, the more excited we were. So have a why for wanting to be wealthy. And that will be the passion that will keep fueling, fueling, fueling until you achieve your goal. Thank you very much, everyone, for another wonderful time today. And I know tomorrow will be another good day by the grace of God. And both of us will be here with you again. And we wish you a very fruitful week in this month of February.
Bye for now.
All right, bye.